of the screen, you can time that A-B move and just knock them right back off the screen and end up killing them with 1 or 2 hits like that. So even though they're actually pretty difficult to just fight one-on-one and just trying to go in with your fist, if you time up the A-B shots together, they end up being pretty simple and even easier than the knife ladies. You know, so it ends up not, even though you fight the knife ladies earlier than those acrobat enemies, the knife ladies are still the most challenging enemy to deal with. As we have the randomly fat guys with the guns and the weird purple hats. Here we go with the other random fat guys that are fun to deal with, which are pale as ghosts, apparently. I've always wondered that about them. And more knife ladies, oh, so much fun. Okay, I'm taking them out. Like I said, never walk straight into them. You know, usually you'll end up getting stabbed, but if you come in from a diagonal angle or just up or down into them, you usually can sometimes actually be able to connect with them and start doing damage. Okay, take out these guys. There's one down, and one more. Okay, move on. And more random stupid enemies, the basic enemy, while I go ahead and grab a giant heart. So I replenish all my health meter up. Well, all but one little slither. They couldn't just give me that little bit of health left. They couldn't just give me that back too. Taking out the giant tall guys. A lot of fun to deal with these guys. Like I said, they haven't really done that charging move at me that much during the course of this run. But that's really because I'm not giving them the opportunity to try to take me out either. Okay, green acrobats. Fun. Like I said, if you can time it correctly and knock them off screen, you can sometimes they'll jump right back at you, and you can time it and end up just hitting them right again. Knock them off. Come on, where are you? Comes back, do a combo, wait for it. There you go, and combo and done. Just wait for them to come back is the best strategy. And 2 at one time. Hit them both, and hit them both again. They were pretty simple enough, right? Take out this one now. Another combo, one more combo to do it, and she's taken care of. Hey, green devil dudes. Ah, fun. And these guys really look, I don't know what they officially are supposed to be, but I always thought they were devil costume guys. They probably are, just because they're carrying pitchforks and whatever, but they're actually pretty funny to look at. Okay, the battle with the Organgrinder. This is the boss I was talking about. I hate this boss. First, they trick you by opening up the hatch of the vehicle. It's like he's gonna pop out of there, but then he comes flying from the right side of the screen. That's fun to deal with. But he does that jumping move constantly. He also hangs out at the bottom part of the screen where you can't hit him. And then he'll go to the left or right side and then do that shot move. That's the easy part. When he's firing the shot, you actually can dodge it, and it's very easy to deal with. The hard part is actually being able to do damage to him when he's doing his jumps around, because half the time he'll do the jump, and then when you try to go hit him, he ends up jumping at the same time and ends up doing damage to you. I couldn't time it there, I ended up getting a big hit to me. And also, since I'm not able to do too much damage to him every time I hit him, then it just ends up being a pretty long and pain in the butt battle. Like I said, all the time I remember as a kid dying at this battle. I just used to get so mad at this part. I just hated having to deal with this guy all the time. And it used to, it was so much hinder me from actually wanting to continue playing this game. There we go, he's done. Finally, he's taken care of. 5-1, Penguin Army's looking for the remote control. Okay, here's fun. And we start off with more knife ladies to deal with. Of course, they're always a joy, and I'm always overjoyed to have to deal with them. We actually do only have 2 more stages to go. We have 5, and then level 6 is the final stage in this game. The end boss to this stage ends up being really challenging if you've never done it before, because it actually is done a little bit more than just, hey, go into this boss battle and start doing a fist fight as fast as possible before they end up killing you. That ends up not being the case with the end boss of 5-1, of level 5. You know, so that's going to be a real joy to have to deal with again, and I actually suggest having the extra health if you can. So I'll make sure that I have a little bit of health, but since I'm trying to get through it as quickly as possible, I end up using all my A-B moves as much as I can, just to kind of avoid having to take the extra time and just fight all these enemies by fist unless I absolutely have to, but unfortunately I'm not going to get a whole lot of health boost either. But I should have enough health right now because I still have an extra box, and I have a good amount of health still left. But Knife ladies, fun turquoise colored knife ladies instead of the ones that were just the red colored ones. Always a lot of fun to deal with them no matter what color they end up being. Come on, die. Punch them and wait for another one to come back and combo and done. Okay, continue on. More regular enemies to deal with. Just go ahead and use my cape to take them out quickly. Not too much effort to put into it. And continue slide. Oh wait, no. Acrobats now. Fun. And wait for it, time it correctly. And now, unfortunately, I have used up my white box, so I'm down to just my 1 health meter left. And here's the building. Apparently, just randomly, this building's just open. It's like the one building we actually have to enter is somehow in exact alignment with where we were walking. I guess that was even, I guess that was convenient enough. And more random soldiers to take care of. And fat guys. Fun. Do my jump kick to get in there quickly. And just timing it correctly and punching them when I can. This is a part of the game where it just kind of gets a little bit tedious because you're fighting. There is no more more style enemies for the most part. There may be a different colored enemy, but they're still the same basic enemies you've been fighting the whole game. So it's just coming down to, come on, I want to get to the end here. It's not a whole lot of extra stuff to do. I mean, here's the third different colored of the acrobat people, turquoise colored ones. And here's more of those turquoise colored acrobats. There was another big hit. The one's still alive. Just needs to come back on screen if it ever wants to. Come on. You can thank you for finally jumping back on screen. I mean, you think that took long enough? I've always hated that in beat 'em ups. I hate when you knock an enemy off screen. They just take forever sometimes to finally come back on the screen. They have to wait for you to get all the way to the opposite side of the screen before they're like, oh hey, I'll come on the screen now and actually fight you again. Just so annoying. This is one of those little things about beat 'em up games, and I love beat 'em up games. I absolutely love them, but that's just one thing about them that always drives me a little bit insane. More knife ladies to deal with. Fun. Take them out with my cape. Slide through, hit. Wait for it, slide through, hit. That one's going to need one more hit to kill it. There we go, slide it. And there's one more slide to take that one out. Okay, more motorcycle guys. Okay, I took out one with the cape, and I just gotta take out... Okay, well, another one appears. As soon as one dies, another one appears to take its place. Fun. Jump up, take him out, and take out this guy. One more hit on him. There we go. And there we go. We're actually at the boss now. The duck vehicle. Oh yes, Penguin's giant rubber duck is our next boss. If you have batarangs, immediately take them out, but first make sure you walked all the way to the left side of the screen and throw them at it. Now you see that green ball that it shoots out of its eyes? If that thing hits you, it will rock your world. You do not want to be touched by that green glowing sphere. Once you've thrown all your batarangs at them, you have a couple of strategies that you can deal with. If you have plenty of health, I suggest using the bat cape move, the A-B move together. They end up doing a lot more damage. But what you gotta do is, every time he shoots out the green sphere, walk over to the right, and then as it's coming back towards you, you must jump and kick over it. If you try to just walk over it, like if you think it's gonna avoid you or whatever, and sometimes just jump over it, it ends up still hitting you. So I found out the strategy of jumping and doing the jump kick, it ends up being the better strategy to end up taking out the duck vehicle. Now if one of these things hit me, I am gonna die, so I'm gonna try not to get hit here. I only have one more bat cape I can use. Wait for it, time it. Okay, now that I've used all my bat capes up, I'm just gonna wait for it to come over, I'm gonna kick it, and now one more damage and it should be done. Punch it right now. There we go. It explodes, it drops that last green sphere, which thankfully can't hit me after the vehicle's already been destroyed. And here we go, 6-1 Arctic World, following the duck vehicle. So now we have another driving sequence in our, bat water vehicle here, like our bat ski machine here. And this level is useless. The only point to it, besides gaining an extra lot of points, if you're into that kind of thing, kind of reminds me of Battletoads in Battle Maniacs. The whole levels where you were riding on the random chip, going through all the bowling pins and whatever. Just because that's basically what the exact same patterns and trying to get as many of these sphere disc-shaped things that we're trying to get, but the real thing of it is to get your health all the way filled back up before having to go to the final part of the game. So that really ends up being the only real point to that whole little sequence there. But 6-2, final battle with Penguin, except we do have a level to go through first, so it's really not quite the final battle yet. We have a whole bunch of enemies still that want us dead before we can get to that part. The fun part about this whole stage, of course, is that you're standing on ice, so you've got to deal with slipping and sliding. Not nearly as bad, of course, as the rooftop area that we had to deal with before, but it's not much easier or much funner to deal with than that. And I end up sometimes missing my punches because I end up sliding too far up past the enemy. But it's an overall not too much of a difference, especially at this point, once you've gotten all your strategies down against most of the different types of enemies. And of course, being the final stage of the game, you're going to have to fight every single type of the enemies that you've fought throughout the entire length of the game. Taking out the fat guys every time they come out, just keep using the A and B cape move as much as possible, but I want to make sure I do have some health before I end up having to go against the penguin here. And stupid giant walking guys. Take them out. There we go.